What's up, y'all? It's Otaku Tavern back at you with another video. I'm gonna talk about something that I feel like not too many people really talk about. And we're gonna go ahead and talk about it. First, if you like the type of content that I create, make sure you like, subscribe, and make sure you click the notification bell so that you do not miss a video. All that good stuff or whatever, you know. If you want to sub. You don't then. So today, well tonight, sorry. I'm going to talk about, do autistic otakus benefit from special ed? And the reason I put otakus in it is because this is my audience. So this is really for like just autistic individuals as a whole, really. But like, this is a topic I'm not going to really spend a whole lot of time on, but like I will kind of just, you know, share my thoughts on it, all that fun stuff, right? And sorry, I gotta share this in the Discord server. This isn't really like a topic. Like I said, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it, but so okay, got that shared. Sorry, y'all. So like what I mean by this is I'm not really talking about on a kind of like a grade level, like as far as special ed benefiting like autistic individuals. I mean, I'm autistic myself, so that's why I figured I would choose to talk about this topic. You know, because I do know there are some people that's told me who watch the channel they're the same way. You know, and there's nothing wrong with that. I like autistic people, they're cool. So what I meant was like not like on a, like I said before, like a not like a grade level kind of thing, but like a in every other way, to be honest. Like not like do the special ed, you know, help like an autistic individual form a better relationship with people they come in contact, or does it help them make friends or to build relationships, to build rapport, right? So you know, kind of stuff like that is what I plan on talking about with this. So yeah, on a grade level stance, yes, I do think it definitely does help them. But like, that's not what we're going to talk about. What we're going to talk about first is the fact of, even in special ed, like a lot of these certain autistic individuals are completely bullied, right? They are completely outcasted, you know, even within special ed a lot of times. Like, you know, the teachers like get very fed up with them. They just really get tired of dealing with them. Like, and the reason I know this is because, you know, I was in special ed myself, and for a while, until I just quit because it just wasn't doing any good, right? Like, I mean, other than a grade level stance, I guess, but like, it just, it was just, I don't know, it was really...
A race well run.
Nah, it wasn't really like a... something I knew was going to benefit me later in life, like, so, but like, the thing is like a lot of these people, us autistic people are human just like everybody else. Yeah, I agree. This is a positivity video for autistic people, so, but like, yeah, like a lot of autistic people are bullied in school, you know, and that's kind of one reason why a lot of them actually get thrown into special ed class, because they think, oh, well, it would be good for them to get them away from these type of people, they claim, and then they will just either help them, you know, understand the things better, or they'll just flat out give you the answers to the questions on the grade work and then be done, right? And that's the thing, that's not really helping an autistic individual prepare for what they need to later in life, right? Now, I'm obviously not necessarily talking about someone who has to have a parent legal guardian. I'm kind of talking about like one who can live on their own, his or her own, you know, without the need of like to live with a parent or a family member and stuff. So, like, back to what I was saying, like, it doesn't really help them on the stance of to build like relationships, rapport with other people, you know, because like a lot of these people, especially within school, they usually sit alone, regardless if it's like at lunch or, you know, like whatever, right? They always sit alone, and because, you know, they are outcasts to society. Like, it's cruel and a hard truth, but like, you know, sadly it's true. And like, you know, I had to deal with this stuff in school, and I know like a couple of my friends, and my best friend, you know, and all that had to deal with things, and you know, just all this kind of jazz, right? But like, just it's like, you know, not only are you even bullied, like, but like a lot of times you'll even go into special ed and like you will still be bullied. Like, I mean, that's the way it was for me, to be honest. Like, I went into special ed and I was completely still bullied. And it was just not a pleasant experience, to say the least. But like, it doesn't help on the sense of, you know, doing that stuff. It doesn't help on the sense of, you know, preparing for a dark, cruel, and chaotic world. It doesn't, like, it doesn't really do it any justice, so to say. And like, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of sad, I guess, at the same time, but just pathetic in another way, I guess. But like, I don't know, like, to me, I feel like there should be more help for people like that, but sadly there's not. But anyway, like, not only does it, like,
a race well run.
Not, like, not, trying to think of what I was going to say, oh, not only does it not stop the bullying issue, but, like, it doesn't really, it doesn't, you know, help you, like, gain relationships. And it's like, you know, it should, like, it should, because sorry, I had to itch there. like, it should help with, like, the whole thing with relationships, because, I mean, these people are obviously going to struggle with, you know, having relationships and stuff, right? And, you know, this could be romance-wise, this could be friendship-wise, you know, like, it's brutal, like, it's completely brutal, and it's like people have a supremacy of autistic people. Yeah, I agree, man. Like, I think they do. Like, but, like, you know, it doesn't really help them. Like, you know, special ed does not help an autistic person. And, you know, that's a hill that I will literally die on, because, you know, I know because I experienced it, you know, and I've even talked to other individuals who were autistic, and it did not benefit them, right? And it's just like, you know, you can't make this stuff up, right? Like, I mean, it's just, it's a sad, harsh reality. But, like, another thing too is, like, if you're in special ed, you know, you're obviously there to either try to learn this stuff or get the answers, one, or something. Like, a lot of them I know just flat out give you the answers and stuff, but my thing is, like, I don't understand why they don't teach these people to, you know, how to teach them better, like, relationship skills, maybe like social skills and cues, you know, stuff like that, resources, you know, all this kind of stuff, right? And it's just really kind of a reminder that, like, you know, there's really not, like, a lot of help out in the world, like, for people like that. Like, I mean, like, it's just, you know, yeah, sure, you can probably find a little bit of help, you know, people who will do kind of the bare minimum kind of thing, but, like, someone who's, like, going to genuinely help and do everything they can possibly do to help that person, and, you know, no, that's just not going to happen. Like, it's like, you know, a lot of times, you know, like, especially with, like, and I'm gonna tell you another thing, like, people who have autism, like, obviously people who can live on their own, right? Like, you know, their parents literally throw them to the wolves, right? Like, they throw them, like, out into the world, you know, and they don't know how to do anything. And, you know, like, you know, me personally, I wasn't taught how to cook. I wasn't taught how to really do basic things. You know, I had to pretty much kind of learn on my own, which was very stressful, to be honest. Like, I did not have a parent literally telling me, you know, or teaching me really anything, like, about stuff like that, right? And, you know, that's a sad reality. There's a lot of people that are like that, and you know, like, I was always given the excuse, well, like, that my parent would say, oh, well, I had to learn everything myself, so you can do the same thing, you know. And it's like, you know, that's brutal. That is a brutal thing for an autistic individual to have to deal with, right? And, you know, I'm going to tell you this, you know, now, if you're an autistic person who is like an otaku, right? Now, I mean, oh my gosh, dude, it's going to be worse. Like, you're going to get called all these kinds of names. Like, people's not going to really, like you because of the stuff you like. You know, but it's like, who cares what they think is what I say. But, like, you know, another thing that special ed does not help is like it doesn't help them do with like money management skills. It doesn't help them with cooking skills, you know, daily things that you have to know how to do, right? Like it doesn't teach you that stuff. You know, like it just teaches you like modern textbook garbage, which is a lot of it's just a bunch of BS anyway, that you're not even going to use later on. Like, I mean, it's just, I don't know, like, it's just really brutal. Like, you know, these people should be learning stuff like basic cooking skills. You know, maybe some of them might need, like, showering skills. You know, like, and, you know, like I said, this is not a video to knock autistic people. I mean, it's really a video in defense of them. Like, you know, because it's like, I've seen a lot, and it's like, you know, why can't they teach these things to these kids that are autistic so they know this stuff when they get up and grow older, you know? And it's like, you know, no, nobody wants to put in the time, the effort, or the resources to do it. Like, nobody cares. Like, if you're not of a certain class, they don't really care. Like, and, you know, it's just brutal. Like, but like, you know, a lot of autistic people are extremely lonely. A lot of them have a lot of health problems, like whether that be physical or mental. And, you know, like, it's just, it's a very sad reality. And, like, special ed does nothing for none of this, right? Like, it doesn't help with, you know, the mental problems. It doesn't help with the showering problem, the money management skills, the cooking skills, the cleaning skills you may need to clean your house, right? You know, like, because, you know, these people are going to live on their own. They've got to learn how to do this stuff, you know, like, and, you know, they may need someone to teach them how to do it. You know, because, like, a lot of these people who are autistic, they're on stuff like food stamps, they're on stuff like SSI, Social Security, disability, you know, and it's like, you know, yeah, these people are going to need help, you know, to make ends meet, you know, with what they can get, you know, with their disability or their food stamps, or, you know, if I guess if, you know, if you're a woman and you're autistic and you have a child, you know, you probably can draw into KTAP, I guess, but, like, you know, even then, you know, you're going to need help to, how are you going to be able to use KTAP if you don't know what the hell you're doing, you know? But, like, you know, it's just, it's a very brutal world out there for autistic individuals, like, extremely brutal. Because the thing is like, autistic people see the world for what it really is. They're able to, like, they may not be as smart on book smarts like in school, right? But, like, you know, an autistic person can tell you things about another individual that people just can't, like so-called normies, can't pick up on. And, like, you know, another thing too is, like, don't try to outsmart an autistic person, because it's not going to go well for you. That's another thing. I mean, now that's not me being prideful. I've seen it. I mean, I'm not the only one that's like that. I've seen people literally try to outsmart other autistic individuals, and only to be met with just complete and utter humiliation. Like, I mean, a lot of these autistic individuals, just because they're not smart in book smarts in school, don't mean that they're not smart at all. As a matter of fact, autistic people are actually some of the smartest people on the planet, to be honest. Now, I'm not trying to get political here, but, like, believe it or not, that one guy, Elon Musk, he has autism. And look how smart that guy is with all the technology and you know, stuff like that, right? But, like, you know, like, a lot of people wouldn't know that he had autism. You know, you can dislike him if you want, or like him if you want. That's neither here or there. I don't really care. But, like, But yeah, like, hang on a second, let me fix my freaking joystick. Sorry, I had dust in my joystick. But like, yeah, these autistic people are not, they're not being, taught like basic skills, you know, that they need to learn, because another one, like meal prepping, right? Like, you know, when do you hear of like somebody teaching an autistic person to meal prep? When do you hear of that? Like, no, like a lot of these autistic people are like learning this stuff off of YouTube or, you know, or maybe even TikTok or something. Like, it's,
Enjoy a robust fishing trade, yes.
and that's the thing. That's one thing, like, as far as YouTube goes, I'm highly in favor for, because YouTube can be very educational. So it's like, you know, YouTube, I think, is probably one of the greatest websites probably ever created. You know, regardless if you don't like how YouTube has changed with their policy or whatever, regardless of whatever, how you feel about that, like, it's still really educational, that you can learn a lot of stuff, right? I mean, you can look up recipes, how to cook them on there, you know, like, all kinds of stuff. And, you know, like, I went to this one group, and it was really pathetic, right? Like, I've actually talked a little bit about this before, but like, it was where they teach autistic people basic skills, and the thing is like, they would really just kind of put on a YouTube video and just make them listen to it, and then ask them questions. And I'm thinking to myself, well, what the hell is the point in this? Because these people can just do this at home. Like, it was just a big joke. In other words, like, it was pathetic. Like, it was a bad joke. Like, it was just, I'm glad I dropped out of the program. But like, another thing is, like, there's also a lot of autistic people who do end up dropping out of school due to bullying. And it's like, you know, you'll have these teachers be like, oh, well, you know, you need to go to college and do all this. And here's the thing, look, man. Like, most autistic people, I would say a very high percentage, maybe 80 to 90% of them do not go to college. Like, I mean, like, you know, they just really don't. Like, if they end up getting a job, if they're not on Social Security, disability, and food stamps, like, they usually get, like, kind of like maybe like a grocery store job, like a restaurant job, or, you know, something really simple that they can kind of do, you know, like that they're taught to do. Another thing is, like, if an autistic person does get a job, like if they're able to, you know, they're not really, a lot of them don't really teach, like, how to do it. It's the same thing with, like, regardless if you're not autistic. Like, it's, when you do it, you get there and they just say, well, do this, this, and this. Like, you should already know how to do it, and it's your first day on the job, right? And it's like, you know, that right there, autistic people need to know that. They need to learn that kind of thing. Like, how you can't just expect to throw, like, an autistic person under the bus like that and just say, well, figure it out yourself, you know. I mean, if you get fired, it's your problem. Like, you know, like, really, like, I don't know. I just think that's really brutal. Like, it's extremely brutal. And the fact that, like, they do this stuff is just, I don't know. This is sad, Luke. Yeah, I agree. But, like, yeah, it's really pathetic, because it's like, you know, these people, there's actually a lot of these people, they genuinely want to know things. Like, you know, like, that's like, you know, when I got my own place, right? Like, nobody taught me how to put bills in my name. Nobody taught me, like, what to do. about how going about putting these bills in your name. No, I had to literally go through the stress of all of it. I had to be stressed to the max, you know, scared that I was going to F this up. And nobody taught me. I had to learn myself. And it's like, you know, if I was to ever have a child, I would never, under any circumstance, be like that. Like, if I knew how to do something, I would teach that child how to do it. I mean, now if I don't, then there's not really anything I can necessarily do about that. But, like, you know, it's like, you know, these people, they're not being taught the skills that they need to know. And that's my biggest problem with special ed, is because it's like, you know, it only teaches you to get, you know, to basically pass school. That's all, like, that's the bare minimum. That's all they do. And it's like, you know, really, to be honest with you, passing school is not the end of the world. Like, if you don't pass school, you're not going to die, right? Like, it's like, you know, they really should be teaching these kids and teenagers, like, you know, if they have that, like, basic, like, necessity skills. Like, I mean, because it's like, you know, there's people who, like, say there's, like, you know, say you got, like, an autistic person who is loud, right? Like, and then he's, like, you know, very energetic or something. And, you know, basically this person makes a lot of noise. They're not taught to calm down. They're only got onto when they get out of hand. They get yelled at, they get sent to the principal's office, all this. And it's like, that's not going to solve the issue. That's not going to say, hey, you know, shouldn't do that because I'm going to get sent to the principal's office. That's not how that works. Like, you know, I mean, these people, they need extra care and genuine help, right? And, you know, these schools, I mean, I can't say anything. I don't really know much about how other schools view autism in other countries, but as far as in America goes, it's a disaster. It's a complete disaster. And I could only imagine it's gotten much worse, you know, since I'm out of school. Like, I've been out of school for a little while now, like, and it's just like, you know, I've been out a while, and it's like, you know, I don't see it getting any better because, you know, it was bad when I went, and, you know, and it's like, you know, another thing too is, like, if you're autistic and you're being bullied, the teachers will not do anything about it. Like, they will not do anything about it. They do not care if you're bullied or not. Like, you know, and if you stand up for yourself, you're the one getting in trouble. Like, you know, because it's like, you know, you probably stood up to like a Chad or a Tyrone or like a, you know, a Stacy or something, or like a middle class or something. Like, and then, oh no, how dare you do that? Like, you know, like, but like that's kind of how they act in a way. And it's like, you know, I think autistic people need genuine, you know, care and stuff, right? Like, I mean, but like crap, it almost got me. The thing is like, you know, another thing that this doesn't help with as well is like the fact that, you know, not only, you know, do they not teach this stuff, but when they get out of school, they're no better than they was in school. Like, that they still don't know how to do things. Like, you know, so it's like you pass them basically on like book smarts or giving them like answers. Like, we should have been taught those skills. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree, because like that's kind of pretty much what this whole video is about, because like, you know, they do not benefit from special ed whatsoever. Like, you know, on like this kind of stance. Like, sure, like on a passing school sense, they do, I get, you know, but like on like other levels of stuff, they don't. They really don't. And it's just, I don't know, like it's really I don't know, it's just really sad. Like but like I mean, cause like I'll tell you this other thing, like there was this one kid, right? His name was like Brian, right? And it, like this kid was like the type, he was very autistic, like he has to live with his parents, I think, but because he's still living with them as far as I know. Last I heard, like long ago, but like, you know, this kid was not taught anything. Like, you know, like he was loud, like a lot of people would like make fun of him. Like he would do like these things, and like, you know, I would kind of defend the kid, like, because I just thought it was really bad that people was doing that to him. But like he would do this thing, like he would like flap his hands a certain way, right? And then like a lot of the kids would be like, hey, go run, you know, jump up and down and flap your arms around. Like, you know, they was doing it to mock him, right? And you know, it was just, it's like, you know, it's stuff like that. Like, you know, this is the kind of life that an autistic person has to deal with, even when they're out of school, to be honest. Like, because nobody wants to take them serious because they think, oh, well, they can always outsmart the autistic person. They think they're dumb, right? And, you know, the thing is like, you know, nah, like the autistic person isn't dumb. I can tell you that now. Like, they are not dumb at all. You know, and like, you know, when they pick up on something, it's like, oh man, yeah, they picked up on it, you know, like, but, I don't know, to me, like, the whole thing is just really disgusting, in my opinion, because these kids should be taught, you know, basic stuff, like, and they're not being taught it, and it's like, you know, obviously these people are not going to grow up to be no damn doctor like you want them to be. They're not going to contribute to society, as you call it, like, they're not going to be a white-collar worker, that you so want them to be, that they're brainwashed to be, like in school. Like, you know, it's like, oh, if you're not a white collar worker, like, oh, then you just don't matter. Like, that's literally the way school teaches. Like, you know, and this thing, you know, look up a song called "Loser" by 3 Doors Down, and it's like, you know, that right there is a perfect prime example of what I'm talking about, because
Well run.
you know, like, if you're autistic, if you're poor, you know, you're the outcast. You're the outcast within society. You're the outcast within school. You do not have the same opportunities as other people do. You do not have, you don't learn the same amount of skills or stuff to do. Like, you know, school, as a matter of fact, is supposed to teach you stuff like communication skills, stuff like that. They're not even teaching autistic people communication skills. Like, and you know, it's like, that right there is just downright sad. Like, they do the bare minimum when it comes to communication skills. And, you know, especially like when these people are like in middle school, high school, and they still really don't know how to communicate good and well. You know, it's like, you know, look, these people are growing, like they're getting older. They, you know, they need to know this before they get out of here, you know, like out of school, you know. And it's just, they don't want to put in the time or the effort or the resources to deal with them, because they need extra care and extra time. And they don't want to do that, you know. God forbid they do that, because, you know, they think their life is just so great and so busy, you know, because they're like working all the time, you know, or gossiping, you know, or something like that. And it's like, you know, why can't these people get the help that they honestly need? Because you know, like, and you know, myself included, you know, I'm talking about myself, you know, when I was in school, you know, I'm not just talking about other people like now, like I'm talking about even people back then, like when I was in school, it was the same thing, like, you know, like nobody was taught anything or nothing, like, you know, they was just threw the paperwork at you or just gave you the answers or something and just, you know, that call it a day. Like, you know, it's like, you know, I'll be honest with you, like school honestly really didn't even teach me math. And what I mean by that is I learned math at a very young age, like because like my math skills like went up drastically when I learned how to play the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, right? Like, you know, I watched it on when it came on TV, when it first came on TV, you know, that's what basically taught me like my biggest like multiplication, division, adding, subtracting, you know, stuff like that was Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, honestly, if I didn't have Yu-Gi-Oh, I don't know what the hell I would have done because, you know, I would have learned those skills very, very late. Like, and what I mean by that is, like, sure, they teach that stuff pretty early in school, but, like, you know, they, if you're just going to give them the answer, that's not teaching. That's just... that just shows you don't really want to deal with them. I'm sorry, my forehead keeps itching. But that just shows you don't want to deal with them. And, like, you know, that's not going to solve the problem. That's going to make the problem much, much, much worse. And it's just like, you know, I hate that too. I hate that for these people because, like, you know, they deserve better than that. Like, you know, it's just like, you know, I deserved better than that. If you're autistic watching this video, you deserved better than that. And, you know, like, even people who will never watch this video that are autistic deserve better than that. Like, I mean, it's just... I don't know, it's just really a sad thing, I think. Like, it's just... I don't know, it's just, it kind of really infuriates me, to be honest, because, like, these people should be able to be taught the basic skills that they need, and they're not being taught that. And, you know, like, this whole thing with, like, the group, you know, going back to that, like, you know, they'd teach you groups, and, like, you know, they did, like, a whole thing, like, on, you know, money management skills or whatever, and it's like, you know, they're like, well, if you have a disability check and you don't have money at the end of the month, like, you know, then you can't manage money, or, and it's like, you know, people that are on disability checks don't get much money. Like, that stuff does not last all month long. You're crazy as hell if you think it does. Like, that's just ridiculous. You know, like, that right there, you know, that stuff does not last because your bills ends up taking over half of it. Then you got to get, like, stuff you need, whether it's, like, toiletries, shampoo, or, you know, possibly food, you know, cleaning supplies or whatever. You know, there's a lot of whole things I could name, right? And it's like, you know, these people, they... you know, they believe that they're right and you're wrong, and it's just, it's a joke, really. But, you know, like, you know, the whole thing with, social skills, right? You know, played a YouTube video on social skills. Okay, you could do that at your home, not only that, but, like, you know, social skills, honestly, to be honest with you, like, why in the hell would you want to watch a video to teach you how to do social skills? That's ridiculous. Like you need to be taught that on a level, like, a person to person. Like, it's just like, I don't know, it's really odd, really weird that... It's really odd and really weird, but, like, you know... these people, they do not care. That's the thing. They don't care. And, you know, I really hate that. I really wish that there was, you know, like there's even schools dedicated to like sending your autistic people to, like, it's a certain type of school. I don't really know what they're called, but I don't even know if them work. I don't know. I've never been to one. I don't know if they really even teach these students like the stuff that they need to know. I don't really know, but like, but yeah, it's just, it's weird, but like, yeah, anyway, like, one more thing before I end the video is like, you know, if you have, been through this kind of topic, like this kind of situation, you probably understand pretty darn well what I'm talking about. But like, you know, another thing I wanted to say is like, you know, about this group before I end this video is like, you know, they would also give you a worksheet on, like, you know, like say you needed to take a shower. They would literally give you a word search and you just found words on a word search like shampoo or hot water, or, you know, it was really weird. It was weird as hell. Like, you know, that's not going to help somebody, you know, do better. Like that's a waste of time. You're wasting everybody's time. But like, or they'll give them some other type of worksheet. And it's like, you know, I don't know. It's just weird. But anyway, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but anyway, like and subscribe, y'all. It's a brutal world out there. It's no fun to be a part of this you know, this side of, like, you know, that's just like really looks down on people like me, I guess, and you know, like you, if you're autistic watching this, right? And it's like, you know, I hate that. Like, you know, but you know, you got a community here if you like this video. I do have a Discord server that is autistic friendly too, so if you're interested in that, you can always hit me up, stuff like that. So I usually try to reply to everybody's comments when I get them. Yeah, just make sure, like, you do your part, I guess. I mean, I know that's rough, and, you know, like, I guess that's easier said than done, right? But, like, I mean, like,
A victory hard won.
I don't know. I don't even know where I was going with that. Sorry. Anyways, y'all, God bless you all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.